Hey, Doug, Upstone here for Doc Sports, and I am back this week to talk about golf. That's right. The Pebble Beach Pro-Am goes this weekend, so it's a big event for well, but certainly in that area of the world. Some of the different things that go on there. I had the good pleasure, or actually the great pleasure, of being able to go there one year to watch the tournament. Got to go to the two of the three courses, and then there was another one. Actually, we were able to just get there briefly that they were using at the time, but fantastic layout. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about that in just a second, and then the day afterwards. Well, the other thing too, that on the Sunday, got to go sit on the 18th hole. We were guests of Cleveland Golf at the time, and was able to do that. So got to sit on the 18th hole after walking the course. So that was a real treat. And the next day, got to play it. Okay, and the besides everything about it, the final ending was unbelievable. So we were there, and the sun was just starting to set into the ocean, just barely getting there or almost there, and we were on the 18th tee. You're familiar with Pebble Beach? 18th tee is right along the water, looking out into the ocean. It was stupendous. So if you ever have the opportunity, if you're a golfer and if you ever have the opportunity to want to have the desire to play Pebble Beach, it's a lot of money, but I tell you what, it's well worth it. Something you'll never ever forget. So highly recommend that. I'm also going to highly recommend that you play some golf this weekend. Okay, bet some golf. The last 3 weeks. Now, I told you I was going to say what I didn't do last week. Well, last week with the Torrey Pines tournament in San Diego, that they moved the dates from to Wednesday to Saturday. So for me to do the video, it wasn't just it was hardly anybody could see it, okay, from that standpoint by the time it started. And because I do tournament golf, not daily head-to-heads, didn't make any sense. So I'm back today, but I do have the good news to tell you that I've hit 3 straight weeks of winner. I've had 3 straight weeks of winners on the PGA Tour, and so I'm trying to make it 4 in a row coming up this week. Okay, with this is gonna be a tougher week. I'm going to tell you right off the bat. It's definitely going to be harder, and I'll explain why in just a second. But yeah, it definitely going to be a little more challenging. But hey, I've done it the last 3 weeks. Made $1,160 worth of profit. See if we can get some more for you. Okay, from that standpoint. All right. The Pebble Beach does not draw the big names like it used to, and because the golfers have changed quite a bit, and that goes along pretty much with everything in life. People are different than what they used to be, and so with that, everybody used to enjoy, or frequently at least enjoyed playing with the amateurs on there. They don't anymore. So most of the PGA pros, as I've said before, there's a lot of spoiled guys making a lot of money, and so they don't enjoy that. And hey, I get it. 6 hour rounds, or in some cases, not all cases, but certainly some longer rounds, and that this is their job. They're trying to do their job, and for some, it's kind of a pain. Okay, so they don't bother to attend. In terms of the golf courses, Pebble Beach and Spyglass in particular are absolutely fantastic. You've seen all the views if you watch golf at all on Pebble Beach. Spyglass, the first 5 holes are as good as any that you'll see at Pebble Beach, and then it makes a little bit of a detour from there. But this one, 156 guys are going to tee it up. They're going to play 3 different courses, each day, and then there's a cut on Saturday night, not the traditional Friday cut, but after the third round there'll be a cut, and then the top 60 players and ties, and then anybody else that also has amateur partners will play on Sunday at Pebble Beach only. Okay, CBS will have the coverage on this, so. If you like great views and like to see different things, it's definitely something you should tune into. I certainly will be. I can tell you that. Like I said, the 3 courses. One of them is the Monterey Peninsula Country Club, which is the short course. Pretty standard layout, nothing real fancy about it. It's none of these courses are long, intended for regular play, not necessarily for PGA events. So that's part of it. The another things that goes on. So par 71. Greens are smaller than normal. Normal PGA Tour green is 6,500 square feet. This one's 6,000. There's not much trouble here, okay, from that standpoint. If any player expects to play on Sunday, this is when you play this course, you have to shoot a bare minimum of 3 under, okay, bare minimum. I would say more likely 5 or 6, okay, to have a better shot to play on Sunday. Because this course is pretty simple. It's a simple layout. There's really very little trouble, especially for the pros. All right, Spyglass, like I said, great golf course, and probably actually the toughest of the three courses, especially without the wind. That's a big difference. There, like I said, the first 5 holes all along the ocean, just unbelievably beautiful to walk around there. Then you head into the heavy trees, and so pretty fairly narrow. Okay, not so much for the pros, but for pretty narrow. The interesting part, though, is that even though it's only 7,000 yards and it's got four par fives, you would think that these pros they would just eat it up, but it's interesting. It hardly gives up any eagles. Okay, it's among the lowest on tour. Part of it is because, like I said, the trees, everything's it's not super narrow, but you hit an errant drive and somebody tries to let it out a little bit, you're going to get yourself into some trouble. So a lot of guys don't use their drivers or don't use them as much, and so there's just not as many eagle opportunities. And the other part of this, of course, is that the greens once again are smaller. It's only 5,000 square feet, so that's another big difference there. So just it's got some different things, and the greens are also. I'm not going to get into the textures, but they have an aspect about them that it is different. And so for a lot of guys that are not used to playing golf on the West Coast, they're not used to those types of greens, especially ones that are near oceans, like what these ones. And then there's the one Pebble Beach. Okay, it's the best. Okay, I mean I've never been to the Masters. I've watched it. I've had any number, a ton of people that I know that have been, and they all basically say the same thing. It's the hollow ground and all that. I'm not going to say they're wrong. Okay, that's not the case. Being at Pebble Beach, okay, for the views and everything else, the houses that are around the golf course, just the whole experience, there's nothing like it. It's not a hard golf course, okay, as I said, it's actually they've actually for whatever reason it's a little bit short. It's actually under 7,000 yards this time around. The conditions though are changeable. That's the big thing. You never know from day to day what's going to happen. Now it's not supposed to be anything, but if you know anything about the history of this tournament, or even sometimes fronts will come in, and so it could be perfectly sunny, 70 degrees. In fact, the year I was there was 88 on Friday. It was crazy. That was highly unusual. But typically, we're talking about temperatures in the low, or let's just say low 50s to low 60s. Okay, is typically what you'll find there this time of year. And then if something comes up with the wind or whatever, I mean, guys can be hitting 2 clubs longer, okay, in a lot of situations, or you could get into crosswinds on a variety of holes that could really change, how everything is played. So pretty unique from that standpoint. Now, in terms of, let's just say, some of the different players as to who's doing what and what's expected, Patrick Cantley is definitely one of the big names here. His odds are plus 700. He's definitely the favorite to win. He seems like an obvious choice, playing exceptional golf, going back to the Tour Championship, which he won. This year, he's finished fourth and ninth in 2 starts. He's number one in greens and regulation and second in birdie average. Problem is, he's got low numbers. So if you're looking at head-to-heads for the tournament, um, you're gonna pay a lot, okay? And if you lose, it's gonna sting some on him. Daniel Berger is the defending champion. He's the second choice. He's at plus 1,200. He's also played well so far this year. He's finished fifth and 20th so far, and he figures to be a factor. It is hard to repeat, okay, at winning a tournament. It does happen, but it does not happen often. So he might be a better target. Maybe check out the odds, which I've done already myself, but maybe some top 5 or top 10 action for Daniel Berger. Other guys that, in terms of form, look pretty good. Jason Day, he was tied third last week at Torrey Pines. Hasn't played real well up to that point, so we'll find out this week if he's going on a run, or if was just one of those days. Jordan Spieth hasn't played great since last summer. Been a little bit so-so. He's certainly capable here from that standpoint. That my thinking on him is, and this is up to each individual person. He can either win, okay, or can finish 40th. That's kind of where he's at with his game right now. Guys that are drawing some attention are Maverick McNeely and Cameron Tringale, and both of those guys have been in let's just say good form. McNeely has had five top five finish, top excuse me, five top 30 finishes in his five starts. In his latest starts, and he's played a lot of golf compared to a lot of the other guys. He played a lot in the fall, so he's pretty good. And he's got an excellent. He's fourth in scoring average, and his last two times on the Monterey Peninsula, he finished fifth and second. So he's definitely seems like he should be a contender in there. Triangle's a bit of Tringale's a bit of a wild card. He's had three top tens in his last five starts, and the other two starts he missed the cut. So take what you can get, from that standpoint. From there, like I said, the field isn't real strong, so it's one of those tournaments this year again, and this has been the kind of the thing the past few years, other than Berger, is that somebody out the pack that would be unsuspecting gets a hot putter, starts sticking irons, and that's really the key here, by the way, is you have to be able to hit iron shots into greens to hold those small greens and get yourself in position to putt. Okay, so that's really the key to the course. So in terms of just say some different players to look at, Cantley, maybe a top five. Only question I have about him in terms of, let's just say, preparation, not a lot of guys to push him, because he's an elite player. A lot of times those guys need somebody to push them to keep them going. I'm not sure that there's that in this particular field for him. So I'd be cautious with him. Again, maybe a top five, top 10 for, like I said, for Berger, and a top five or top 10 for Berger. Justin Rose and Seamus Power are two interesting players to look at. I'm going to take a closer look at both of them. I'm going to have my free play. One of the free plays here is for Berger on a top 10. Okay, so that's one of the ones I'm throwing out there. And by the way, I haven't done very good on the free plays on the videos, so I'm looking to turn that around. So I got Berger there, and then there's another guy, and I got to get his name right here, that did some research, something to look into. Mito Pereira, I believe is how you say that. He's plus 165 to finish in the top 20. He's had a series of top 30 finishes, so against a weaker field, possibility he could elevate his game, okay, and climb into the top 20. So he's my other play. Okay. So there's the whole story, okay, on the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. If you'd like more information, what you can do is go to my page, go to the Doug Upstone page, and you can go there and you can read the article that I wrote about this entire tournament. So many of the things I just covered, but they're covered in more detail. So you can check all those out. I got the top 12 in terms of odds for different players and stuff like that. So you can view that at my page. On Wednesday, I think at right around 11:30, I believe it is, I'll have all my picks up for golf for this upcoming week. So you can check out, if you're interested, you can check them out there at the Doug Upstone page at Doc Sports. Otherwise, we're ready to go. Okay, Pebble Beach Pro-Am, good stuff. Excited for some more golf action myself this week, and see what we can get done. So this is Doug Upstone for Doc Sports. I'll be back next time after watching golf at Pebble Beach, and we'll see you on Thursday with more free pick action. I'm out.